Hi everyone, it's Nathara, and today I'm going to be going over the rerun lightchase burning spell. I was really excited about this one whenever it first came out because I thought the doll girl, like with her bunnies, was super cute, and I loved the big coat on the peacock set. And this 4-star set right here, I was so amazed by it. It was so cute, and it still is super cute. So I think by now most people know what the items look like. I'm still not the biggest fan of this hair. It kind of looks like she has hat hair just a bit. I don't know why I understand why the curls couldn't go all the way up, but I do still love it. It does give a super good like doll look. I love the bunny and then like the floating bunnies that come along with it. And these bandage gloves are super cute. I don't really care for the crown that comes with it. I think it's very tall and very pointy. I do really like this necklace. The earrings, I don't think I've ever used too much. I have used the bandage socks a lot. And the shoes are so. There's nothing too extraordinary about them. For the Plume Charm set, I do love this dress and the stance that comes with it. She looks so haughty. I love it. And this hair is stunning. It looks so good and so elegant. The hat is definitely a unique piece and it can be a challenge to style, but I do like it because it's so quirky. And the coat, of course, is magnificent. The necklace is pretty nice. I do like the earring. It is only a one-sided earring. The peacock is cute, but I don't ever use it. The ring is a ring, and I think it's got a crown on it, which I don't think matches the theme of the dress. And then the peacock socks are super cute. And I do like these shoes way more than I like the other 5-star shoes Magic Knight up here. These are definitely preferable for me. And for our 4-star, we do get the Nightburn top, skirt, the earrings, which I don't use. I think these, if I remember correctly, these are gloves and a necklace, and then these shoes, which are actually pretty unique. They remind me of some shoes one of my dolls used to have growing up. For our loose 6-star pieces, this time we got some really quirky items. We did get the baker hat, a piece of toast, and these cute shoes, Tangled Gold. And for our loose 5-star pieces, we got a layered chain necklace, Racing Cold, which I do love that one a lot. A little handheld ticket. These little flats are not flats. I guess they're kind of like kitten heel sandals. I have never used them personally. And this little heart decal for the hair. For our makeup, we got all of these little kisses, the purple Starlight contacts, this clown facial paint, the Fallen Fantasy lipstick, another facial paint, and the Dreamy iris contacts. For our ally, we do get Shawn's Moonlight Crisis. He's super handsome. And for our decom, we do have the 4-star dress, Heartfelt Cruise. As you can see, I did not end up getting this one. It is just, I didn't see myself using it all that often, despite me liking it. But I did end up getting this hair. I thought it was super elegant, and I thought it would fit some more mature stylings that I did. And I got this hat because I thought it was super cute. It's just so adorable. And for the items, you do have the opportunity to get the Rosy Mirror avatar frame if you'd like. There's also the Tarot Secret Dynamic Pose, which as you can tell I ended up getting. I really liked it, and there was a wonder box that had a tarot set in it, and this lightchase I do believe was running at the same time it first came out. I found out that you could use the tarot cards that you got from that wonder box in this dynamic pose, so I wanted it for that. And then you also get the standard pose Water Fairy, which is cute. We haven't gotten this hair on global yet though. We should get it eventually. I don't see them using it as a display if they don't ever plan to give it to us. but I did get this pose. I liked it. And I didn't really have enough to get anything else once I got all of the other items. Like, as you can see, I only have 9 coins left. So at that time I had 169, and that clearly wasn't enough to get anything else. So I just got the pose. So let's go ahead and look at the ally really quick. There he is, Shawn's Moonlight Crisis. And I already do have him evolved, and here's the evolve item that comes with him. It is the Seashore letter. So there is no big pick for his standard evolve. And here is his evolved, and there's no big pick for this one either, but it still looks good. Alright, so pardon my absolutely mess of a dye job right now. Everything's like dyed different colors, but here's the suit in its whole. And let me go ahead and dye it black. Alright, and here's the suit dyed fully black. So in the crown, it does have that like catch light of a crystal. The hair is fully dyeable, so it's a necklace. So you can't see the earrings underneath here too well, but I do believe they're fully dyeable. The dress is fully dyeable, though there is the silver and rainbow-ish glitter. And on the handheld rabbit, it does have the same crystal-y type crown, and the floating ones have the crystal-y swords. And I do believe these shoes are fully dyeable. Yeah, you're just fighting the glitter. This whole dress has a lot of glitter on it. But let's go ahead and work piece by piece. So with our hair, you'd get 2 dye slots. The first is going to be the bulk of the hair, and the second, as you can see, is the little ribbony strands that go throughout. It has a good ombre from the top. It's not just like a very sharp cut-off point. And for our dress, the first dye slot is going to be just this little top part of the dress right there. The second part is the bottom of the dress, and it does kind of ombre up, and you get a few of the flowers. Our third dye slot is the other part of the dress. So with the ombre together, it's going to look like this. Our fourth dye slot is going to be the rest of the flowers, and a bit on the center of the dress right here, and I'm guessing, yeah, the metalwork. Our fifth dye slot is going to be the sequins and the metalwork that is like the vines of the flower parts. Our sixth dye slot is the gems that run down the center of the dress and down the back. For our socks, you do only get 1 dye slot, so it's just all of it. For the shoes, there's 4 dye slots. You're gonna get the leather on the first part, the ombre that runs across the front on the second, so here it is with the ombre. On the third dye slot, you're going to get the crystals. And on the fourth dye slot, you're going to get the bow on the back and the bottom of the shoe. So you can almost make it like a Louis Vuitton look. For our crown, you do get 4 dye slots. The first being most of the crown. The second being the crystals on like the part of the head and the base of the crown. The third is the giant crystal in the center, and the fourth are all of the little accessory gems that run around the crown. For our gloves, it is the same as before. You do only get 1 dye slot. For the necklace, I know it's kind of hard to see. There's 3 dye slots, but you're going to get the leather on the first one, half of the crystals on the second, and then everything else on the third. For the handheld rabbits, there's 4 dye slots. You're going to get the bulk of the bunny on the first, the crown on the second, the eye buttons on the third, and the stitching on the fourth. For the 2 floating rabbits, there is 6 dye slots. So the first is going to be both of their bodies. The second is going to be the swords and the little ribbon that runs around their little top hat. The third is going to be their eye buttons. The fourth is their stitching. The fifth is the ombre on them. So here it is with the ombre and the body color. And the sixth is the little holographic like light details that come with them. And lastly, for the earrings, the first dye slot is going to be the main earring like holder part, and it kind of fades out. And the second slot is going to be the bottom crystals that shoot up. Overall, I do really like this one, and I love that her stance is kind of like a bit creepy. So let's go ahead and look at her hand postures. You only get this one and this one. A little disappointing, I'm not going to lie, so I do hope that one gets updated sometime in the future. And here's how she stands without a handheld at all. And here's Plume Charm, dyed fully black. So as you can see, there is a ton of glitter. Oh, never mind, you can't see. 1 second. Okay. Now, as you can see, there is tons of glitter. There's gold glitter in the hat. There's a rainbow thing that shoots off the peacock's head. There's gold glitter in the coat, and in the dress, there's pink and blue and silver glitter. Quite an odd combination. And then, of course, whenever the animation goes off, there's those gold feathers. And it's hard to see the feathers on the socks right now because of the dress, but let's go ahead and start looking into this. So with our hair, you get 2 dye slots. The first being a majority of the hair, and the second clearly being the side streak right there. This definitely gives me Cruella de Vil vibes, for sure. Super pretty. For the coat, you do get 4 dye slots, the first being the base of the coat and the crystals on the back peacock charm. The second dye slot is the bottom half of the fur and the metalwork on the back. The third dye slot is the feathers. And our fourth slot is going to be the top half of the feather. So here it is fading into one another. It does give a nice fluffy fade, and I think it's super cute. But I'm going to go ahead and take this coat off so that we can see the details on the dress more. So with our dress, we do get 7 dye slots, and she is backless. I think that is absolutely gorgeous. So with our first dye slot, it is a large portion of the dress, but as you can tell, it does ombre down. For the second, it is that ombre. So here it is with the ombre together, and look how gorgeous that is. It's not like a harsh fade or a straight red to blue. It does mix the colors and create a very pretty shade in between. For our third dye slot, it is the peacock feather outer parts, I guess, and the sequins. For our fourth dye slot, it is the crystals on the huge shoulder brooch and the littler one over here, as well as a few on the bottom. I know they're a little hard to see, but there they are right there. If you've got the feathers lined, you can see the lines that they run along. For our fifth dye slot, you do get the inner part of the feathers, and here it is right here so you can see it better. For our sixth dye slot, it is another ring of the peacock feathers. So here it is with all 3 rings. And for our 7th dye slot, it is going to be the debris that comes off the bottom of the skirt. And of course, it is peacock feathers, super cute. And for our socks, we do get a surprising amount of dye slots with 5 in total. The first is going to be the sheer of the tight itself. The second is going to be the lines that run down. The third is going to be part of the peacock feathers and even these little detail feathers right here. The fourth is going to be the center of the peacock feathers on the bigger edge. So here they are together. And there is a little misalignment with the peacock feathers on the sock, though I think that is super unnoticeable, and I'm probably the only one who even noticed that to begin with. Our 5th dye slot is going to be even more of the peacock feather, kind of like the undertone of it. So remember, there's the inner ring, there's that other layer, so it does create kind of like an ombre. As you can tell, it's kind of purple in the center, and then the outer rings, and so it does like ombre even further. So you can create some pretty interesting dye combinations with that. For our shoes, we do get 4 dye slots, and as you can tell, the bottom of the shoe is not dyeable, which kind of sucks. But the first dye slot is going to be the leather and the metalwork on top. The second dye slot is going to be the little looping chains over the foot and ankle. Our third dye slot is going to be the pearls and the crystals and this little chain that runs over the top of the toe. And the fourth dye slot is going to be the ankle band and the crystal on the back and fronts. A very intricate, detailed shoe. I just wish the bottom of the shoe was dyeable, but I feel like if it were, it'd be too powerful to be a 5-star shoe, and so they limited us. Alright, for our hat, we do get 5 dye slots. The first dye slot is going to be the netting that goes over the entire hat. The second is the inner part of the hat. The third is the bursting of, I guess, feathers right here. The fourth is the peacock feathers that wrap around and like the vines and the big sequins and even the embroidery on the hat itself. And our fifth is the little center gems on each peacock feather. And I'm pretty sure you can tell the crystals dye true, but the pearl, like the dragon eye pearls, they are not true to the color you pick. It is going to be a little bit off. See, I picked the like dark gray and they're like a blue. The red is an orange. This blue is still a blue, but it's not the right blue. Yellow is fine, but I like that purple. It almost has a glow to it, or am I imagining that? No, it definitely has a glow. That's really pretty. And for our earring, we do have 4 dye slots. The first is going to be the feathers that come off and the little bit of red right here on the earring. It's a little hard to see at that angle because I was being silly. The second dye slot is going to be the big pearls and the center of those gem areas. The third is going to be the center of the peacock metalwork. So here they are together. And the fourth is going to be the metalwork of the earring itself, and it does kind of loop up. It's a very pretty earring, and I do like that it is one-sided. For our necklace, we get 3 dye slots. We get the metalwork on the first, and it does dip into your skin in the back a little bit if you're moving it around. The second dye slot is the crystals. The third dye slot is the pearls. For our handheld, the peacock, you do get 3 dye slots. So you're going to get most of the bird on the very first dye slot, and these like little, I can't remember what they're called. I'll just call them feathers. The little head sprout feathers. The second dye slot is the bottom half of the ombre on the bird. So here is the 2 together with a light color and a dark color, which you just saw. And our third dye slot is going to be the falling specks and peacock feathers. And lastly is the ring. You get 2 dye slots, the metalwork, and then the crystals. I don't know, I just feel like this ring doesn't match the peacock outfit too much. I kind of would have preferred like a bracelet that was made of peacock feathers or something. I don't know, I just feel like the ring doesn't match. Overall, I do love this suit. It's elegant and it's classy, and I really like how her stance is. It's great. Though I don't like the mismatched glitter, and I don't like how thick the glitter is on the dress. Like, that is such a thick glitter and the sequins are undyeable. That is my biggest gripe with it. Alright, and here's our 4-star suit, Night Burn. I do really love this suit. I love the pieces. I will be honest, I don't use the shoes too much. They are a little funky, but I do like them for certain outfits. I will say that much. But she is fully dyeable, which is always excellent news. And I do think this is definitely one of the better 4-star suits. So for our top, we do get 4 dye slots, the first being the first half of the pattern, and then this random pearl right there. Our second slot is the leatherwork that runs around the top, Our third is the other half of the pattern, and here they are together. And our fourth is the middle work. For our skirt, there's also 4 die slots, and it follows a similar pattern to the top. You get half of the pattern, the leather work, the other half of the pattern, and there they are together, and then the middle work. For our shoes, there's 3 die slots. You get the bulk of the shoe, then you get the straps and the bottom half of the heel, and the third die slot is going to be the middle work and this little rim around the base of the shoe. For our earrings, there are 3 die slots, allowing them to be multi-toned. So the first die slot is the left gem, the second die slot is the right gem, and the third die slot is the metal work on both sides to tie them together. For our necklace, there's 3 die slots, the metalwork on the first one, the single crystal droplet, and then the center of the leather band, and the last die slot is going to be the outer part of the leather band and the single crystal right here. And our gloves, because these are gloves, our first die slot is the band that goes around the arm, the second is the outer band, and then the random pearls on the side, and the third die slot is going to be the metalwork. Overall, definitely one of my favorite 4-star outfits from any light chase. And for our loose 6-star items, we do have the bakery art hat, a ridiculously big chef hat. It has 3 die slots. You're going to get the bulk of the hat on the first one. You're going to get the little bunnies and half of the clouds on the second. And the third is going to be the rest of the detailing. I think I've used this like twice. It's not too bad, but I mean, it is kind of huge. It is really good for your chef outfits though, but the hat is fully dyeable, so that's a bonus too. Our second 6-star loose piece is the Bear Toast. I have never ever used this one. The first dye slot is the inner part of the toast, and the second dye slot is the pink crust and the center part of the mouth, so the face is undyeable. And for such a small piece, and for it being a 6-star piece, it's a little ridiculous. And here are our, oh sorry, it's super close. Here are our shoes, Tangled Gold, super up close. It does have 3 dye slots. They are fully dyeable. So the first is the base of the shoe and the leaves that wrap up. And our second dye slot is the crystals over the top of the shoe and the center of the vines. And our third dye slot is that part of the shoe. It's basically the bulk. The clear band is not dyeable, but it is clear, so it's not going to be all that noticeable. And here's our loose 5-star Racing Coldness layered chain necklace. It has 2 dye slots, the first being the biggest chain on the top and the little dog tag, and the second being the second 2 layers of chains, making it fully dyeable. But as you can see in the back, it does dip into the skin, but that's not really an issue because most of the time you're not looking back there and your shirts will cover it up. And here's the heartbeat indentation ticket. It is very small. It has 2 dye slots, the ticket part itself, and then the writing on the ticket. So it is fully dyeable, and it can just look like a black stub ticket if you like. And here are the loose 5-star shoes, Shallow River. They are fully dyeable, but they do only have 2 dye slots, the first being the leather around the shoe, and the second being the base of the shoe. And here's the Devil Heart hair accessory. This one's actually pretty cute. It does have 2 dye slots, the heart and then the lightning bolt. So it is fully dyeable, but there is glitter inside of the heart, but it's pretty cute, so I don't mind it. And here's the Lion Power hat dyed fully black, so it is fully dyeable, which is amazing news. The first dye slot is going to be all of the kind of like super fluffy areas. The second is going to be the like detailing inside those fluffy areas. Here they are together. Our third dye slot is going to be the bulk of the hat. Oh, if you do have pointed ears, they will clip out. Our fourth dye slot is going to be the eye rings. Our fifth dye slot is going to be these other eye rings. So here they are together. So slot 2, 4, and 5 will make up the entire eye ring. I actually kind of like that. That layering of pink, white, and red is really cute. And here's our decom hair, Heavenly Melody. It does come with 2 dye slots. The first being the bulk of the hair, and the second being the streaks throughout. A very, like I said, an elegant hair. Definitely fit for more mature looks. And here's Shawn's Evolve item, Seashore letter. It is fully dyeable and is just a simple little handbag. The first slot is going to be like basically the entire thing. The second dye slot is the bottom half right there, and the third dye slot is going to be the buttons that go all the way around. There's not too many hand postures, it's just basically your single-handed hand postures that you're used to. And here's the Enthrallment facial paint. I do really like this one. It's like a bunch of cute little kisses all over your face. Very adorable. And here's the human-shaped tear facial paint. I actually don't like this one too much. I don't like the mouthpieces that come down. They kind of look like a very sad mustache, and I can't like unsee it. I wish the doll jointed look or the clown look was a bit more pronounced, or the lines were sharpening. I don't know, honestly. Something is off, and therefore I have a hard time using it. And the details do get a little lost on the darker doll. And even on the palest shade, you can barely see the white eye drop. I think you can see it more on my doll because she wears I have the black eyeshadow on her. I don't know, I really wanted to like this facial paint, but I just have a hard time liking it. And our other facial paint, Looming Dragon, is also not one of my favorites. It just doesn't match the art style of the dolls of the game entirely. It kind of looks like a copy-paste image, and it just doesn't feel in universe to me, so it just looks out of place on my doll. I don't know, I've never been able to use it successfully without it feeling awkward. Although I must say it does look better on the darker doll. I think if I were able to put a white hair with it and then turn up the halo and the contrast, I might lose the detailings, like the pencil-ish gray marks on the tattoo, and kind of make it just look like a swirling vine mark. And here's the purple Starlight contacts. So they basically just have like a huge crystal on the inside of them. If I could scoot in more, I would, but I can't. But they are certainly not our only purple contacts, but they are a bit more unique. I do like the gold center ring, and they kind of like have like magical girl vibes to them. They're cute. But my favorite purple ones are definitely the wisteria ones. Those are gorgeous. But that is a completely unrelated, so sorry about that. And here are the purple Starlight contacts on the black sclera, and I do think they look really good. They fade out very nicely. There's a bit of a white tinge, but it's not very noticeable. And here's the Dreamy Iris contacts. These ones are super gorgeous. I love the contrast of the blue and the gold. I think it's really pretty. So whenever you have the black sclera on Dreamy Iris, there is that, like, I guess, outer halo that kind of makes them feel out of place a bit. I kind of wish the fade out was a bit better. And here's our lipstick, Fallen Fantasy. It is actually a pretty cute one. It comes with 3 colors: Shallow Rose, Orange Story, and Hyacinth Dream. So here's the first slot, dyed all the way up and all the way down. Second slot down and all the way up. Third slot up and all the way down. A very pretty lipstick overall. I do believe you can see more of the details on the darker toned dolls. I feel like it was a lot lighter on the paler doll and harder to see those colors. And here's the water fairy pose again, though you can pretty much see what it's like from the preview. All I can really do now is show you kind of what it looks like when she has focus on. And what it looks like whenever she has a handheld. So here's a right hand handheld. Here's a left hand handheld. And here's a two-handed handheld. Like I said, I got this one basically because I had the coins and there was nothing else I could really buy. But I do like her expression. I do use the expression a lot. It works really well. I like the way she's looking up and the slightly parted lips. It's nice. And again, here's the Tarot Secret Dynamic Pose. It is very short. There is not much to it. She does just flip around a stack of cards, and these are the default card. But like I mentioned, we have gotten well, here they are. Glistening Prelude. So these ones are actually dyeable, though it's mostly just like the centerpiece, but these cards do work with this pose. I do hope you found this video helpful and useful in deciding on whether or not you want to be pulling on the Burning Spell Light Chase. But that is everything for now, so I will talk to you later. Bye bye!